नमस्कार, मैं हूं सुरुचि। आप सबका स्वागत करती हूं एक बार फिर एक नई जगह से। 210 साल पुराना है ये पैलेस बस्तर का। आइए अंदर चलते हैं, पैलेस को देखते हैं और यहाँ के हिज हाइनेस महाराजा जी से मिलते हैं। जब हम पैलेस में सबसे पहले एंटर करते हैं तो हमें सबसे पहले ये हॉल देखने के लिए मिलता है। ये आम जनता के लिए खोला जाता है जब हिज हाइनेस होते हैं और अपने लोगों से रूबरू होते हैं। तो चलिए अंदर चलते हैं उनके पैलेस में और देखते हैं। और मैं हूं पैलेस के अंदर और अब आप देख सकते हैं खूबसूरत पैलेस। मैं आपको एक छोटा सा टूर देती हूँ कैमरे के लेंस के थ्रू। आइए। खास बातचीत में मैं बात करने वाली हूँ डायमंड्स की, रोल्स रॉय की और बहुत खूबसूरत पुरानी गाड़ियों की, शैंडलियर्स की और एक लाइफ महाराजा की। हाउ इट इज़ टू बी लाइक महाराजा, हाउ इट इज़ टू बी लाइक किंग। आज हम हैं बस्तर में और बस्तर आए और बस्तर के राजा से ना मिले, ऐसा हो नहीं सकता। तो ये मुलाकात खास है बस्तर के राजा जी के साथ। कमलच बहन जी का मैं स्वागत करती हूँ हमारे कार्यक्रम में। महाराजा हैं आप, किंग है बस्तर के। हाउ इट फील्स जब आपको कोई कहता है महाराजा साहब की जय हो?
It's basically it's been old traditions, so they definitely people say it, but it's because it's a privilege as well as a lot of responsibility. It comes with a lot of responsibility, as we have a democracy in our country, but there are certain custom traditions which are attached to the family, so it's definitely a privilege, but it's comes with a lot of responsibility and lot of patience is required to be a king, because you are a listener rather than a sayer, because people come with their problems, and especially tribal, because they treat you as their ancestor, as their family member, as the head of the family and head of the entire traditional customary tribal the welfare and everything. So they are basically dependent on their ruler that way. You should suggest us if there are some problems, if there is a change in some of these pujaris passed away, then you have to elect the new pujari. So these are all things which are customary of the king, and one needs to do it as the sitting on the throne, which is of the Maharaja of Bastar.
जी, आप बहुत यंग थे। आई थिंक 12 years you were?
12-13 years.
13 years जब आपका क्राउनिंग हुआ था, उसके बारे में कोई मेमोरी आप हमें बताना चाहें?
I have a very vague memory about it, because I think I was studying in Rajkumar College, Raipur, school, and I was playing football. My father came down. I said, I'm not feeling well. And after 2 days, I got to know that my college flag was down. So,
Okay.
Because we were the owners of the school as well.
Right.
So I said, why the flag is down? The flag is down only once when the trustees die.
Okay.
So I had a doubt, and that time I had a conjunctivitis also.
अच्छा.
So I was wearing specs because you can't, it was burning.
Of course.
My sister was also studying, both of us, me and my sister.
Okay.
We both were in Rajkumar College. They were in girls boarding, I was in the hostels of the boys. So they said, you have to urgently leave to Bastar. So I was shocked, Bastar kyun jana hai? So because I knew my grandfather, that is Maharaja Pradeep Chand's wife, Rajmata Subhadra Devi, and secondly Subraj Kumari Devi. Subraj Kumari Devi passed away, my grandmother basically.
Okay.
And the grandmother, she passed away. So we thought that that is the 10th day of her, then I have to go. So I was not knowing that my father passed away.
Oh.
So I reached here, so they said you are not allowed in the palace, this section where we are sitting right now, this section you are not allowed, you are allowed on the other section. And then I went there, so they were not letting me meet my mother, the old people here. Old ancestral family. They said you're not allowed to see your mother for 10 days. So I said why? So I don't remember. After that I went into some silent mode, and after 2 days only I realized when I was that I got to know one of my cousin told me from my mama's side, mother's side, said your father passed away. That was a shock to me, because then I was not allowed to be there, because you are not allowed to be, as you are the king, you are not allowed to go for the
rituals and funerals
of the funerals. Okay. Like you are doing, like Charles and they did it in the Victorian time. But in our Bastar, you are not allowed to do the Mukhagni and all that. The Raj rituals are not performed by the Bastar Maharaja, because you become the priest to Danteshwari. So first day you take a shower, and entire puja is done, and then you are gone to the Danteshwari temple in Jagdalpur on the campus. And then from there you are allowed to wear clothes of the bridal colors, which you are not allowed because you have to wear white as a show. But I was wearing all the colorful clothes, and you are allowed for entertainment and everything. But you are not supposed to go to the funeral section of the palace. So this side becomes the funeral side of the palace, and that side is the celebration. And then you have the Rasti Lagdan, and then you have to declare.
So you're saying that your father, when he passed away, he was here in the palace for few days until you became king, Maharaja, and then you.
And I did not see him also. You don't have the right to see that till now. I have not seen anyone of them. Not even my friends, my family, my cousins, my father. I have not seen
ऐसा क्यों
anybody.
है?
That is the rule that the king is known to be that you have to be not involved in the sorrowful things. Your responsibility of the states are more bigger
Then your family.
than your own family. So this is what the burden is on a king. And I could not see my father, and I could not see my mother for 10 days as well. That your mother will
When
not
she
be
was
seen
actually grieving and needed
grieving
you the
and-
most.
Yeah. That time also you are not allowed to see her. That is the rule and tradition of Bastar state, and still it is followed. This happened to my father, his father, his father, his father. It's like that. It's been going on, and I don't go to any of the rituals in the entire political career of mine as well as business. Anywhere I don't go anywhere where the death happens. I go after the Shuddhi is done, after the 10th day or the 4th day, however the traditions of that same community is. So it is very hard. As I told you, it's a big responsibility.
And yes, I completely realize now when you are talking and speaking about it, with the rituals that you're talking. What is that one fond memory that you have with your father?
One fond memory was that life is not that easy. And get ready and love to serve your people because they are the people who stand by you. They have stood by your family. Your family who have given you birth, your mother and father, they will always be there. But the major thing that you have to become the father of your nation, that is Bastar. You have to take care of them. You have to be loved by them. When they love them, because when you become the part of their family. These were a lot of things which he has always taught me. Taught me to be an individual person and take responsibilities, take decisions and stand by decisions. These were a lot of things which he taught me in a very young age. And unfortunately he died when I was not even matured enough. But learned a lot of things from him, to be patient and to understand that the king's throne is basically not that easy in Bastar because there are a lot of responsibilities, and as there is a lot of political pressure on you as well, and social political, both the pressures are there. So you need to be very understanding, calm, and very very understanding, and your words which you say, you have to stand by it.
Anything particular that he would play with you? Any sport or any game that you would remember?
Yeah, he used to more fond of football with me because I used to play soccer a lot when I was a child. So that time I used to play. So he used to also accompany me because, as you know, that our school was owned by assembly, so we were one of the trustees. So we used to play with him, and he was very fond of music as well. So he used to listen to all these musics and make us listen as well. We have seen all these, old Lata Mangeshkars and all these old songs which are still there in our collections. And then we used to have these old gramophone players, the old players were there. He used to play that also. And it used to be very beautifully sound because these were done, the entire systems were got from London. So the microphone, they were so nice to hear that. And that time there were few people who used to have these type of technology. I'm talking about 90s.
Right.
91, 92, 93. These were the ages which
You talked about your sister. Is she elder to you or
Younger to me.
Younger to me. Okay, sorry, younger to you. So she is also the princess. And how do you, both of you, what is your routine look like in a day?
It's a very interesting routine because we being brother sister, so there's definitely certain brother-sister relationships are always there. We disagree to certain things, we agree to certain things, as a common families have. But being into these families, we need to be poised in a lot of things. We need to understand that we don't belong to a family that we can go overboard on a lot of things. There are certain lines drawn, so we don't cross that line. And secondly, it's a very interesting thing because we are into so many sports, we are into reading, we are into so many things. So we are into some creative things rather than doing into the fighting aspect of like this brother-sister relationship is. So we are more into the aspect of learning and understanding things and helping people around us. So we take each other's help to take care,
Right.
because I don't think that she's my younger sister. I mean, treat her as a friend of mine, and she's been not a girl child to as because my father passed away. I treated her as a brother to me.
Right.
She's been like a bro to me. She always is with me, and we understand a lot of things, and we settle down a lot of things when it comes to decision making
Okay.
on some women's aspect, because I am not sure on that things. So she also takes up a relationship about some women's problems and all that. So we keep her on the board, so that we understand the aspect of a women's angle.
Hmm.
That makes me clear to take some decisions when it comes to women's side.
How would a regular routine day would look like of a Maharaja?
It's very hectic. I get up at 3:30 in the morning.
Okay.
I go for puja, and on that morning is that, and then that's known as the Brahma Muhurat, which I have been training myself from very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Then do some Surya Namaskar, which counts are I have not counted, but it's many. Then I go for Yoga Nidra for a while, and
Okay.
then after that I go for riding, swimming for a while, and then there are certain yoga and trainings I go for. That is basically physical exercises and all that. And then I go for golf on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
Golfing in Raipur. Bastar does not have that facilities, or Delhi.
Okay.
So like the golf club in Delhi
Yes,
or
yes.
in Raipur airport. So we go there. And in Bastar when I'm there, so majorly after that my function is more that I travel.
Hmm.
I'm a frequent traveler, and I go to visit all the villages.
Hmm.
So Bastar is huge,
Hmm.
7 districts, and
Hmm.
2 and 4 is too much.
Hmm.
So I travel, go to the villages, ask their problems, understand their problems, go to school and teach them also.
Oh.
Yeah, in the working hours of the school, I go and teach the small kids in
Hmm.
all these Prathamik, Madhya, Vidyalayas are there, there are
Mhm.
preschools are there. There are
Hmm.
some schools which are not preschools, they are like the senior schools,
Hmm.
11, 12, and pre-sections, and play with the kids also. So that is like my lifestyle, and I do it regularly. It's not
Okay.
like that I'm not constant on that.
Mm-hmm.
But in this COVID times, I've been irregular because of the COVID thing, and I was scared that I might spread it.
Hmm.
So that 2020, 2021, it was not regular, but 2022 again I become regular, and I do
Hmm.
it here also in Raipur also.
Hmm.
I make it a point, and one social event we do majorly is that when I go to some of these ashrams, the
Mhm.
old age homes,
Mhm.
the people who are basically known as especially disabled children,
Mm-hmm.
I help them also
Okay.
financially, and whatever they ask, the caretakers ask me. So we do these are the regular things. It's in my life,
Hmm.
and reading is must. Half an hour now reading, and television.
Any
I'm not-
particular favorite authors that you read the
I've read
most?
many of them, basically, many of them. But some people, Madhav Dave is one of them, who has been a political and encyclopedia. He's done a lot of things on political things. He's written books on Shivaji, a lot of history. And secondly is a knowledge about political aspect and social aspect. So Madhav Dave books, I think I must have read all of them. Still I read them. And majorly I go for autobiographies
Okay.
and lot of things about psychological studies of the people,
Okay.
and more into technology also.
Okay.
I love technology, so I like to read on the technology and upgradation of everything, like
Mhm.
the phones, cars, mobile phones, the upgradation of engines, phones, mobiles, and everything. In terms
Right.
of technology, you can tell about everything from the ground to the skies,
Oh.
aeroplanes, everything. I read about it because it's been a passion, and the kings were known for cars.
Of course, that I mentioned when I was talking about it. Coming back to cars, I saw a very beautiful picture out there in your place, I think in the back office. It was the Rolls Royce. I want to know about it.
See, Rolls-Royce, this car was 7 manufactured in the world.
Hmm.
So it was one of the Silver Ghost.
Hmm.
The car name was Silver Ghost, and it was basically, we had 2 of them.
Okay.
One was for the Praveen Maharaj, my grandfather, whose picture you saw,
Ji,
Praveen Maharaj,
ji.
and his younger brother, Vijay Chandra. There were 2 Rolls Royces. And they were the rarest, and these were the cars used for the ceremonial functions.
Okay.
The king used to go for like the Shera functions and all
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, these 2 cars were very badly destroyed when the Golikan took place, when the firing, when the grandfather was killed. It was so badly destroyed that it has to be basically absoluted away. It has to be just thrown away.
Hmm.
Because there were more than 700-800 bullets fired on that.
Oh my
It
God.
was almost finished. The
Hmm.
car, so the engines were finished because all the bullets went into it. You cannot repair it. So much of damage was done. So these 2 cars were absolute. But we definitely have Dodge, we have Jeeps are there, the left and right World War II car, Jeeps are there, then we have John cars. So these cars we have it. But in terms of the sophisticated vehicles like Rolls Royces, Bentleys, these were destroyed in that firing.
What are those protocols that you have to follow coming from the royal family?
See, being a Maharaja,
Ji.
first thing is that the religious aspect which is there attached to it. That means you can't leave your house, your work, your businesses all over the world, globe, wherever you travel. You have to first pay respects to your goddesses. The puja is fixed wherever you go in the world. So that is one religious aspect which one can't leave it. So that is not normal in everybody's life. People just brush their teeth, change and go to their jobs. Right? Or just Bhagwan ko haath jod kar chale gaye.
Routine.
So, routine.
Yeah.
So this is not for us. We have to do the pujas are fixed. That is fixed. Secondly is that we need to be keeping check on all the political as well as the religious aspect of the world, including the social involvement of the people. For example, like some people, some places or some organizations will have problems, or some society will have problem on certain issues which are related to their own society. That needs to also be settled by the king. Because being a sanraksha, you have to take care of that.
When we see about a lot of royal families, the way they are executed in other countries, it is not with the same here in India. Why do you think that is not there?
So because see, there was a problem which happened that earlier when there was a mergers done of the country, so all the kings, the Maharajas, Rajas, and lot of these people who are the princely states, they all merged to form Government of India, known as Government of India. Now we call it as Bharat. Earlier we signed it and made Governor General of India. That is the Rashtrapati. So we signed all the palaces and everything. We handed over Jal Jangal Zameen of Bastar to the Governor General of India. So there was a agreement done by that time. Indira Gandhi was there, Nehru ji was there. They said ki the kings will have the upper house of the parliament, like we have it in England, known as House of Lords and House of Commons. So House of Commons यहाँ पे हो जाता है MLAs और राज्यसभा was assured that कि ये ऐसा होगा. And but problem happened that after the merger agreement that in 1971, Indira Gandhi ji took a step and find a constitution and find an act that all the privileges and everything which were given and which were promised by them when the mergers happened, they were abolished. So this was basically a political move which happened to the kings, and we suffered for that. And why we suffered? Because we gifted to them, because we gifted the political aspect. It could have been run like it is running right now in England, but there would have been representatives from all the royalties, and the royalties were very few. But in England it's one. But in India there was 500 plus. So India was never under the British emperor that time. It was certain areas which were under the British. But the major portion of the country was with the kings. The Rajas, or you can say Nawabs, Maharajas. They were the people who were controlling. But after that 1971 act, that things changed.
There was a small story, if you would like to share, which is very popular among people, about how she came here with you.
Like what happened, like Annam Deva, the last ruler, that the movie has come. One can, your people can see this, whoever was watching this conversation with you, that there's a movie known as Rani Rudrma Devi. There's a movie come from South, where Allu Arjun is the hero.
Okay.
So that movie has come, that is my ancestors' movie. So that there were two sons, so there was a son and a daughter, and their son mother. So all of them were killed. Only two people were fighting, that was Rani Rudrma Devi and Pratap Dev. Pratap Dev was the eldest son and the late queen, because her husband died, so he was the queen still. His younger brother was not crowned. So that both of them fought the war. The younger brother was outside, playing in some other place.
Okay.
He was saved. He was known as Annam Deva, who established the kingdom of Bastar.
Okay.
And they came here, and when they came here, so the story which you are saying is there in Warangal as well. It is there in Bastar also. It is written in ancient Telugu. We have stone inscriptions of it.
Okay.
It is proven.
Okay.
And it is in the anthropological department of New Delhi also. It is there.
Okay.
That stone inscription has been published there also. It is there in the records. So that says that when Mata came, so girl came with the king.
Okay.
And the girl said कि तू मेरे आगे आगे चल, मैं तेरे पीछे पीछे. And the horse will be wearing payal, so you can
अच्छा.
hear me coming.
Okay.
He did not have sena.
हाँ.
He was killed everything. And माँ said कि
हाँ.
sena will be mine.
हाँ.
It was the sena of Mata, which came. That is known as Mata Seva Bhagavad. तो माता की सेना is very big. So they said कि then they said कि जहाँ जहाँ तू मेरा ये वस्त्र लेके जाएगा, वस्त्र was कपड़ा. तो वस्त्र we could not pronounce because we were from south. So we could pronounce bastar.
Bastar.
So it came to bastar.
Oh.
It was the pronunciation change that came.
वस्त्र से वस्त्र and bastar हो गया.
It is the pronunciation differences.
Okay.
So that is why it is known as bastar.
अच्छा.
अगर आप देखें तो उसमें अस्त्र हटा दोगे तो वस्त्र ही हो जाएगा. तो वस्त्र का माता का वस्त्र जहाँ जहाँ लेके जाएगा वो तो जीत गया. That वस्त्र the Maharaja took under Deva and made the one of the biggest kingdoms of the country. That was a huge kingdom which was made. And after that माता said कि एक और शर्त है कि अगर तू पीछे मुड़ के देख लेगा तो I will sit down there where I want to sit down. If you see me coming, because that is the thing. If you see me, then I will incarnate myself and sit there wherever I want. And from that day, you will become my main priest.
So you perform as a priest and as a Maharaja.
Maharaja is later. First you are a priest.
Priest and then Maharaja.
Then Maharaja. Then you become a priest. So then there was a nadi known as Sankani Dankani. If you go to Dantewada, there are two rivers, Sankani Dankani. So when they were crossing Sankani, there was mud inside the kunguru of the horses. He got Kawaj Kumiyaki. And then he turned behind and Mata sat there.
And then
she took her shape and said कि अब से मैं यहाँ बैठ गई हूँ. वस्त्र तुम दे दिए थे wherever you go. So then there was a house next to the mandir. Still it is there. So Raja's first house was that.
So coming back to Bastar, Bastar has known for good and bad both. When we see a bigger picture, people talk about nationalism. They talk about the beauty at the same time, flora and fauna. But now Bastar is known for its traditions, for its craftsmanship and 75 days of Dashera. I want you to give a little glimpse about Dashera. Why it is so special about Bastar?
Dashera is very powerful because it's given by Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, our fourth ruler, known as Raja Purushottam Dev. He went from Bastar rolling, natural, rolling from here to Bastar. That is 700 kilometers. How did he go? I don't know. He reached there. Then Jagannath Prabhu got into the dreams of the Gajpati there. Thakur Sahib there, the Zamidar Sahib, who is known as the Maharaja of Puri, and said कि मेरा भक्त है, उनको रथपति की उपाधि से नवाजो, दिया जाए रथपति की उपाधि और साथ साथ सुभद्रा का रथ भेंट में दिया जाए. So he sat on the rath of Subhadra. अच्छा. माता के रथ में. That rath was pulled from Puri to Bastar.
Bastar.
So then it came here. So it was Haryali Amavas. That is 2 months behind from today's date.
Okay.
2 months behind. And the date it came down to, that day the Bastar Dashera function starts. It includes lot of rituals. If I give you the explanation, it will take 5-6 hours. So it's a 75 days function with lot of rituals. I perform as a Maharaja also, and for major functions are done as a priest. The priest functions are more and Maharaja function 1 or 2.
Okay.
And the major function which is very interesting is the function which is done next to Vijayadashmi, where the Maharaja was given a punishment by the tribals that कि आपको पूरे राजशाही वेशभूषा में आकर के हमारे साथ नया अन्न खाना है. And that function was known as Raja Naya Khai.
Okay.
King's new food, new green food which will be having by the Maharaja, cooked by their people. But had by the entire people.
Okay.
So that procession also the king has to wear the achkans and everything as a punishment. Given 600 years behind, and still it is followed. So we go with all the attire of the royal family, with the entire processions, and then we go there, eat food with them, and then we get the chariot and we come back, the rath. We come back with it, and that's where the function stops. So there are a lot of functions, and it ends with Mauli Mata Kadoli comes from Dantewada. When she gets back to Dantewada.
Okay.
So that it ends. So this time it will be ending on the date of 15th of October it will finish.
Okay.
So that is the stretch of Bastar Dashera. So it has started on the month of 7th. Now it will end on exactly after 75 days. This time Dashera will be 75 days.
Okay.
These are lot of rituals, and the major part of this Dashera, which is very special, is that it has been doing, the Dashera has been continuing from 600 years.
Right.
Whereas Mysore Dashera is 400 years. So Urdu Dashera is 4, 5, 600.
This is the oldest one that we have in India.
And secondly, it's majorly a part of social importance and social contribution. और अगर आप हिंदी में बोले, इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग वर्ड है, सामाजिक समरसता का सबसे बड़ा उदाहरण इस बस्तर दशहरा।
Do you see Naxalism, and do you see that coming years you will be able to
see Naxalism? Only one thing can change is development. One needs to work on development, and development is only the cure. And development in terms of social integrated thing also. It's not only changes. It's about we need to coordinate and we need to take confidence about the people. We have to keep them on board on development and any aspect of life. Then only one can think about everything can be changing in Bastar. When this happens, development is only the solution, which includes social as well as infrastructure. Then only things
so that
can
is
change.
what your manifesto was going to be for the coming
it depends, because see, manifesto has to be thought over, and it is the responsibility of the BJP leaders from the state to take care of the organizational heads.
But as you personally coming into politics, your agenda would be?
My agenda will be more on focusing on the youth so that they come into major things of development of the society and taking care of lot of aspects. Political is one of them. This is 5 years we fight elections. But there are certain things what one needs to be done every day. Development of the society, lot of conversion taking place, helping people, lot of things which needs to be taken care of by the youth every day. That is what my responsibility is. My responsibility is not about yearly basis or 5 yearly basis.
Right.
My responsibility is every day. So one needs to constantly work on that, so that technologically we should make all the youth become very aligned to it. Techno-friendly they have to be made, so that we can work on that, because everything now has become mobile phones.
Thank you so much for giving me time, for giving me very exclusive insights about your life and letting me access beyond being Maharaja and being the king. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having in the show. This was Maharaja of Bastar with me, Suruchi, signing off with my team. I shall see you soon with somebody next. Thank you until then.